Hello, people did in the house are doing today. I'm giving a message on the health service in Ireland because it's getting worse by the day. So I'm just gonna off the top of my head. The people of this country is going through a massive crisis in its health service, in particularly the scanning of cancer patients, which the failure of the doctors and nurses' failures of recognizing this is resulting in so many women's deaths. About 200 and something deaths in this country in the last few years. I know our health service is not the best, it's not the grandest, it's not the legendary, but in the end, some countries in Africa and in Asia do not have a health service, do not have a HSE hospital, do not have doctors, do not have nurses, and we must take our stars that we have a hospital to go to if we're sick. Even though we could be lying on the trolley for 9 hours, it's better than nothing. When a place that can look after us, not dying on the side of the streets. But this latest crisis in the health service is bringing down the whole government. And I would like to ask Mr. Faragka if he had his girlfriend and she was misdiagnosed with something wrong with her, would he not be angry? Would he not go and vote and give out his how? He'd go on every radio station in the country? Or would he just sit there and say, well, I can't say anything against the state? Because that seems what people do in this day and age. Stay quiet and not say anything. But the righteous thing is to talk about these things and not let the state get away with what they do. Because our health service is a disgrace to this island. But at least it's something at the end of the day. We, as Irish people, we have nerves and fears of steel. We are unwilling to give up on life, on our liberty, on our equality. And we must never give up on life, no matter what life throws at us. No matter if it's cancer, brain tumour, we will fight it as Irish people. Together. The whole lot of us together. Every one of us. We are in this together. Our health service is in a mess. But we are in this together. Every one of us in this island of ours is in this together. And we must stand together. We must rise together. And we must unite together to get better health service for this state and for this island. If one person has cancer, we do all we can as Irish citizens to help out. Without any government support or without any HSE support. Because that's what the Irish people do. They look out for each other and they help each other during times of crisis and times of emergency. And this is definitely a time of emergency for the health service in this country. But as I said, it's always good to speak out about things and not to hide corruption in the government and in the health service. Because corruption is coming into this country like there's no tomorrow. Corruption is a bad, bad thing. The freedom of speech was said in this country to be in the proclamation. And we must use it with all our might. No matter what happens to us, no matter if they lock us in prison for 50 months, we will always have our voices. If the Irish government do not like what we say, then they can just go jump the lake. I have a question for Mr. Faragka, the head of the government. If you were sick in the morning, Mr. Faragka Taoiseach, would you get the most top class service in this state, you would get the whole world in the Mater Hospital. You have everybody literally kicked out in the street because you were sick and because you were important. And if there was a person in 92 that served this country in the armed forces, who paid his tax, who never got in trouble with the law, and he gets kicked out in the street, what kind of government is that? And as I said before, and I say it again, we are, as Irish people, must try and help our Irish people in our health service and in our government. The ordinary people of Ireland must do their best and do as much as they can to help as many people as we can without any government support, and to help anybody through depression or mental health illness or whatever comes at these people during their life, or anybody. We as people of this nation and of this country are fighters, and I say that again, fighters. We are fighters and we will never give up until our health service is the best it can be, no matter if we have to go marching on every street in this country, no matter if we have to take our anger out on the president, no matter what we have to do, we will get a better health service for this country. It might take 50 years, it might take a year, it might take 5 months, it might even take a minute, but we will do it at some stage, and I promise everyone will use that. We will get back our great health service we used to have, and we will unite the people together in our health service. Which pay is equal, and the rights of workers to work at their own intent, and not to force them to work overtime. And most of all, to help our veterans and to help the older people who are lying on trolleys in hospital corridors, which is a pure and utter disgrace to this island. As I said, and I can't reiterate this more than I have to reiterate it, we must, as Irish people, help out as much as we can in times of crisis, and this is a crisis in our health service. We all must play our part. Every one of us on this island, all 4 million of us on this island, no matter if we're from another country or we're not from Ireland, we all, as Irish people and as Irish people who lives in this country, and as any other people that lives in this country, must do our part in helping them. No matter who is sick, no matter what is sick, no matter if it's a dog, or not a dog, no matter if it's a human being, no matter if it's somebody that you absolutely hate with all your heart's content. We are all our Irish people. We are blood of Irish citizens, of the dead generations who fought and died and suffered famine and Great Depression. And in that blood of Irish blood, there is one thing, an element that any other country will not have in any of their blood, and let me tell you now, it's the blood of a fighting spirit, a spirit that will never ever give up and will never surrender to anything in this planet, no matter if it's health or anything in this world. Because as Irish people, we are stronger than God. And I ask God and all the angels and saints to help Ireland through this difficult time in our health service. And may I say this to all Irish people, to the Irish Republic itself. May God save this island And may God save every Irish citizen. And let's try our best. Whatever we do is enough to do what we have to do. Thank you.